Hey, what is up everyone? The LDB is back at it again, coming at you today with another Outriders video, and today we're going to be taking a look at my Ugake Shotty set. This thing is an absolute beast. If you have not tried this one out, definitely do so, especially since this is post-patch and Hunt the Prey is now working the way it was intended to. So when you teleport, you're no longer going to be aiming at the dirt behind them or aiming away from the enemy, you will be facing towards them. So as always, I hope you enjoyed and find this video helpful. If you do, please do me a huge favor and smash that like button, subscribe for future content. 13,000 is around the corner, so if you can help me out with that, I would definitely appreciate it. And also, don't forget to leave a comment down below. So let's take a look at this. Alright everyone, so I hope you enjoyed that. Now let's check out this class tree really quick, get a couple things out of the way, and we will move on to the good stuff. So pretty straightforward on this one. Get your damage up any way that you can. Obviously go into the shotgun damage right here, but then I would definitely recommend getting into your close range damage. We've got one node right here, we've got another node in the back over here, and the reason that I say that is because personal space just got another 10% buff added to it, so any way you can get any more close range damage is going to help you out that much more. Then after that, I pretty much just went into cooldowns. We've got one node here that is going to decrease the cooldown of a movement skill, and then we've got one node here that's going to decrease the cooldown of a deception skill. Since we're going to be using both of those back to back, I figured, you know, one node for each, and we should be doing pretty good. Then I went into these two nodes over here that pretty much go along with the cooldowns. Activate a deception skill, get 35% weapon damage up for 8 seconds, and then activating a movement skill increases your weapon damage 35% for 8 seconds. So, you know, we're going to be using those back to back and, you know, getting that damage buff up. We got the cooldown on it and as much damage as we can pack on here. So, pretty straightforward on this one, guys. Alrighty, so on to the skills here. I'm going to be using Hunt the Prey, Twisted Rounds, and Venator's Knife. And as you can see, we've got them all on a pretty good cooldown, I'd have to say, especially Hunt the Prey. I was really worried about this one because if you hunt the prey and you miss the target that you are aiming at that is marked with the Venator's Knife, this will go on cooldown. So the game isn't perfect. Sometimes you teleport way behind or way before, where you're aiming at. And if that happens, again, this goes on cooldown. This way, it's only a 6-second cooldown. You get it back pretty fast. Other than that, Twisted Rounds doesn't really matter because we're going to try and keep these up the entire time. And then Venator's Knife is only 7.2 seconds. So you can keep throwing that out there and marking them and then, teleport behind them, do some damage, and just keep bouncing around. I've been loving it, guys. This thing is a beast. Alright everyone, so here we go, on to the good stuff. Now as you can see over here, my base firepower is sitting at 181,000, and we're definitely going to boost that up a lot. I have been comfortably sitting somewhere around 460,000-ish, somewhere in there. And then once a couple other talents get rocking and rolling, I have seen over 500k, so I think we're doing pretty good right there. Our anomaly power, 44,000. Our health is only at 18.9, but don't be scared. Don't be scared because we have something that is going to buff us as far as armor goes, and our base armor is already at 51,000. So I'd have to say we're doing pretty good on a bullet build. Now, onto the weapons here. My primary weapon is an Anomaly Effigy. This thing is an absolute beast. If you have one, definitely try it out. Comes with crit damage, status power, close range damage, and concentration blast. Killing shots cause enemies to explode, dealing 113,000 damage multiplied by the maximum number of 6 enemies within a 5-meter radius around the original target. So the more that are clumped up around you and then you blow that one up, it's like super bone shrapnel. I absolutely love this right here. And then I went ahead and put Dark Sacrifice on there. During combat, your weapon drains up to 50% of your max health, but again, don't worry about it. We'll be doing just fine in exchange for 75% weapon damage. And we already know that these pump action shotguns can definitely put out some super high numbers, so I have been loving that right there. Now you could always go with the meta, I guess you could say, the Death Shield, Weapon Life Leech, Healing Received, Close Range Damage with Fortress and Dark Sacrifice is what I was doing, because Fortress gives you that 43% damage bonus based on your armor, and again, we have some pretty decent armor, and we're going to be buffing the armor with a talent that we have on the gear, as well as Dark Sacrifice, another 75% weapon damage up. This thing is an absolute ripper, but at the same time, ammo is always the big problem, which is why I went ahead and switched to a pump action shotgun, and I have been loving it ever since. Alright everyone, so enough chit chat blah blah blah, let's get on to it here, and we'll start right here with the headgear, the Ugake Shotty's Cowl. Not the best roll, 9,800, but you know what? I will definitely take it. Bonus firepower, close range damage, healing received with the talent that is just the cherry on top for Hunt the Prey. Teleporting instantly replenishes the magazine in your current weapon. And if we take a look at the bottom, what we're actually going to get from the Ugake set bonus, Hunt the Prey does not consume cooldown when teleporting behind an enemy marked with the Venator's Knife. So as long as you're teleporting behind someone that is marked, there is no cooldown on it. You can just keep bouncing around. That's why I also mentioned before about getting the cooldown on the Hunt the Prey as low as possible, because if you do miss and they are not marked with the Venator Knife, you want it to be the lowest cooldown that you can get, right? Then I also went ahead and put Strong Twist on there for the Twisted Rounds. While the skill is active, and it's going to be active the entire time, increases the weapon's firepower by an additional 15%. Gotta love that right there. Alrighty, so moving on to the upper armor here, comes with bonus firepower, close range damage, healing received, and I went ahead and put Twisted Fate on there for the Twisted Rounds, receive 30% critical damage bonus while the skill is active. So this is going to be up the majority of the time, if not the entire time, right? So we will always have this going. And the point is you don't crit all the time, but when you do crit, I want it to count. You know what I mean? I really enjoy seeing those big numbers fly, 3, 4, 5 million, and it's really not all that hard to do. But again, you could always use your favorite damage up here in place of this if you don't like this, like buckshot shells or something like that. Whatever you enjoy, whatever fits your playstyle. And then I went ahead and left Dance of Death on there for Hunt the Prey. Decrease the skill's cooldown by another 20%. So like I was saying before, get that cooldown as low as possible. So if you do miss the target that is marked with the Venator's Knife, you have a low cooldown, you get it right back. Alrighty, so moving on to the lower armor here, the last piece of the Ugake set comes with bonus firepower, close range damage, healing received, and boomerang blades on here for a Venator's Knife. After the initial ricochet, the knife will repeat the path and damage enemies a second time. So you know, I enjoy that, doing some extra damage, and it pretty much seems like it kind of resets the mark, so that way they'll be marked for that much longer. Then I went ahead and put Bloodlust on there for killing shots, increasing your firepower 17,500, stacks up to 3 times, and we can take out 3 enemies real quick with that shotgun. That's all I'm saying. So I think this works out pretty good. Okay, so moving on to the gloves here, the gauntlets of the Cannonball, pretty much a staple for any DPS build, I'd have to say. Comes with bonus firepower, cooldown reduction, skill life leech with Captain Hunter on there, so you can do another 25% damage to elites, and then personal space down here, as you can see, got a little bit of a buff, grants you 25% bonus close range damage, instead of that 15 that it used to be. So again, like I was saying on that class tree, push that close range damage as much as possible. Alrighty then, so on to the final piece here, the foot gear, just some purple shoes, nothing too crazy, bonus firepower, cooldown reduction, close range damage with radiation jump for Hunt the Prey. This is like the cherry on top for the build, guys. Inflict vulnerable to the enemy you teleport behind. Now, enemies afflicted with vulnerable, you deal 25% more damage to for 10 seconds. Now, you don't really need 10 seconds, typically it's you teleport behind them, you shoot once or twice and they pop, but it still helps out that much more, especially for bosses and, you know, elites, things like that. This will definitely help you out a lot. And then I got really lucky with these, and these came with mitigation from death on there. That's why I was talking about do not worry about the health very much, because this will save you the vast majority of the time. Killing enemies while aiming down sights grants 40,000 points of armor for 10 seconds. Stacks up to 3 times. So 40 times 3 is 120,000 armor on top of the 50 we already have. So I'd have to say we're doing pretty good with that. We will definitely be staying alive. I really don't worry about the health all that much. Just, you know, keep that armor stacking, and then also the way that Trickster heals you when you kill them close range, you get extra life back and a shield on top of it, on top of the armor here. So you see where I'm going with this. I hope you enjoyed, guys, and found this video helpful. If you did, please do me a huge favor and smash that like button, subscribe for future content if you are new to the channel, and be sure to drop a comment down there below. So until next time, guys, I hope you take it easy. I will see you then. Later.